Well, all right. We've already picked the 49er game. We're going to run through the rest of our picks for the week.
As we always do.
We're starting off with Buffalo and Jacksonville squaring off in London. We've got Buffalo favored by 5.5.
Where's London?
Where's London?
It's a joke. It's supposed to be a joke. It's funny.
That's okay. That's Bay Area elementary school education at work, baby.
There we go. Sure. Why not? Let's call it that. Bills. Not meeting my expectations, obviously. How do they have so much talent on defense, and they can't put it together? And Rex Ryan is supposed to be defensive genius or guru or whatever, or just motivator, but somehow they're just still not getting it together. Here come the Jacksonville Jaguars. It's basically a neutral game. Nobody in England gives a damn. Do they even know they know what Jaguars are? Never mind. They don't know what Jacksonville is, though, for sure. So, come on. I mean, if you can't pull this off, then I may not pick you ever again. But I got faith that you can beat the Jaguars. So, the Bills, baby. Bills Mafia.
Bills Mafia. Okay, I'm not going with the Bills Mafia.
He's gotten that bad.
No. Well, here's what I like about the Bills. I think Sexy Rexy's a great coach. I think Tyrod Taylor's a pretty good quarterback. Tyrod Taylor may not be 100%. And if Tyrod Taylor's not 100%, well, that changes the complexion of this game a bunch.
No Sammy either.
You're right. So, for me, I'm talking about Bortles. I'm talking about Hearns. I'm talking about Robinson. Those guys get it done.
Yeah.
They do. They ball out. So, look, if that defense ends up being on the field for 40 minutes, it doesn't really matter how good their coach is. Give me Jacksonville in the upset.
Okay.
They may not win the game, but they sure as hell aren't losing by 5.
6. Okay, yeah.
6? No, it's not happening. All right. Next up, we've got the Cleveland Browns going to the St. Louis Rams, who are favored in this one by 5.5.
The Browns keep finding ways to lose. They keep basically finding ways to continue to be the Cleveland Browns. We're now going to go. They're going to go on. Yeah, they're going to go on the road to face pretty good pass rush, and a pretty decent secondary. The key here is whether. What's the quarterback's name for the Rams? It's escaping me right now. This guy used to play for the Eagles.
Mr. Foles?
Yes, that dude. He just can't he can't play winning football and allow his defense to bring it home for him. So by 5.5, I think the Rams pull this off with a field goal at the end. So I'm gonna have the Cleveland Browns beating the spread.
Well, my God, look at that. We're going to disagree again. I will not pick a road dog that I don't think can go against the home team strength. I believe that the Rams' defense is righteous. They're for real.
Oh, yeah.
And I think that Gurley has an opportunity to shine against a pretty good defense that might be out of their element in a hostile environment. So I think that this is one the Rams could win by a touchdown. So, well, you know what? Give me the Rams.
Okay.
All right, next up, Pittsburgh Steelers headed to Kansas City. The over is off. And we've got the Pittsburgh Steelers favored by 2.
By 2 on the road. It's really bad for Alex Smith nowadays, isn't it? So, the way I would paint this is, here comes the Pittsburgh Steelers with a third-string quarterback, Landry Jones, out on a hostile environment against really good pass rushers. And Kansas City is kind of showing their Cleveland Brown faces and just continuing to find ways to lose or just not even compete to win. It have to be Pittsburgh. It's just Kansas City's a mess right now. You mentioned last week and you were on it until they can show that they can kind of come out of this nightmare they're living in right now and just find themselves, which they may or may not do this week, but until they do it, can't pick them.
All right, so I love Kansas City's defense. I think they've got some ballers on that defense. They really do. I don't like their offense without Jamal Charles. And none of that really matters because rumor has it that Big Ben might be back this week. So, if Big Ben is back this week, and it's the Antonio Bryant, Martavius, or the Antonio Brown, Martavius Bryant, Le'Veon Bell show, and Big Ben's distributing the ball,
That's not good.
yeah, that's not only is that not good, that's going to change this line big time. I think the Pittsburgh Steelers run away with this one. They win it with Landry Jones, but if Big Ben's in there, all bets are off. That's the reason why the over is off on this one. Give me the Steelers.
Okay.
All right, next up, we have got the Houston Texans going to the Miami Dolphins, and the Miami Dolphins are favored by 4.5 points.
Dolphins, beat some behind last week and actually put up nearly 40 points. But maybe I'm starting to buy a little bit into Brian Hoyer. I don't know. It might be crazy, but he seems to have really good chemistry with DeAndre Hopkins, who's a stud.
Sure.
We talked about him before. And, Miami has to go against J.J. Watt and sort of a leaky defense. But even after last week, I'm still not confident on him. Again, I like the chemistry. I know I'm sort of buying Brian Hoyer. But give me Houston to, at the very least, beat the spread.
Okay, I said this last week. I'm going to repeat it this week. Until J.J. Watt takes over ownership, general management, scouting, quarterback, tailback, wide receiver, middle linebacker, and the opposite defensive end, I just don't see how Houston has enough talent to consistently win against NFL-ready squads. Miami was a hot mess before they pulled the ripcord on Philbin. Now that they're actually playing football. I got to take the home team on this one. I think that they win this one by a touchdown.
Okay.
All right, next up, we have got the New York Jets going to Tommy Terrific and friends in Foxborough, Mass.
I do not know the rest of the Patriots' schedule this season. I am pretty sure, however, I may never pick them to lose because
they're favored by 9.
Doesn't matter. They could be favored by 20. I think it's pretty well established now that Angry Tommy is just out there doing Angry Tommy things, doing Tommy Boy things, and Jets defense is pretty damn good. I'm not trying to sell them short, but again, I'm not going to go betting against Angry Tom. So by at least 9, sure, give me the Pats.
Yeah. They're the home team. Tom's pissed. Dion Lewis is balling out. And the Patriots get Brandon LaFell back this week. Don't know if he's going to play.
He may not play, but remember, LeGarrette Blount actually came alive last week, too.
Well, he did. Do you think this because he's hitting the blunt again? Maybe. Could be. In any case, I love the Jet D. Not really sold on their offense just yet. I got to tip my cap to Marshall. That guy's balling out. He's playing great. Fitzgerald's doing an admirable job. But right now, I think the New England Patriots are the best team in the NFL, and I don't think it's close. So give me Tommy Terrific and friends. I think they win this one by 10 points just because they're at home. Okay, and next up, my darling sweetheart's not going to like this one. The Minnesota Vikings are going to Detroit, and they are favored to win by 2.5. And, okay, so it's bad when you say Minnesota's favored to win and somebody from Minnesota is making a pukey face behind the camera.
Yeah.
All right. So what do you think, man?
Well, I think that Detroit is one of those teams that you still can't figure out. I know they came out, Matt Stafford came out last week and actually outplayed the Chicago Bears, Jay Cutler and the Bears, which you and I actually thought that was a gimme, Bears win. And that's great, good for Detroit. I know they're out there fighting. That was a nice, overtime win. But on the road now, I'm not gonna buy just after 1 week. You still have Adrian Peterson you have there. You still have Bridgewater, the rookie from Maryland, Stephon Diggs, who was a great recruit coming out of high school. I remember following him. Sure, he's balling. Yeah. He's balling, and actually this week Mike Wallace compared him to a young Antonio Brown. That's pretty high praise. So I'm taking Minnesota in the points.
Okay, and this again is where we're gonna disagree. AP is nursing a hand injury. Okay. Diggs has been getting targeted like no other, making noise like no other. Still can't buy off on that defense, even though they've got Everson Griffin on there, stud ball. Guy can ball out. Harrison Smith, no joke either. I just think, Detroit's at home. They actually played football, maybe for the first time all year last week. They've got they've got the numbers to make it happen on offense. I think maybe this one turns into a little bit of the Matt Stafford and Calvin Johnson show.
Okay.
So I'm going to go with Detroit in the upset.
All right.
Okay, next up, we have got the Atlanta Falcons headed to the Tennessee Titans. The Falcons are only favored by 4 against a Mariota-less Tennessee Titans squad.
I'm not going to spend too much time on this one. Give me the Falcons.
No, it's the Falcons.
I mean, I know we did this last week with
It's
Chicago.
the Falcons. I think they left the 1 off the spread. So,
that might make sense.
Yeah, okay, so yeah.
We got burned last week, but it seems like a gimme, so let's
Bingo.
roll with it.
Okay, perfect. We got the Falcons there.
Yeah.
Okay, next up, we got the Tampa Bay Buccaneers headed to the Washington Redskins. Smile, Redskin fans, you're favored by 3.5 over what might be the worst team in the NFL.
Is this like your weekly toilet bowl? Would this be it?
I think this is going to have to be the toilet bowl.
Yeah, okay.
Jameis Winston might end up being a serviceable player. They may have a couple of good running backs. That defense is massively underperformed, and I think Washington is just a boatload of rage right now. I think Washington more than covers.
I think so too. I mean, I may speak a lot of ill about the Redskins, and still you put the Buccaneers in front of them. They're nowhere close to turning the ship around this season, to the point where I can't even pick them to beat the Redskins. So I got the Redskins covering too.
All right, perfect. Okay, next up, we've got the New Orleans Saints going to the Indianapolis Colts, and the Colts are favored by 4.5, even though they played like they couldn't beat a middle school team for most weeks this season.
Well, actually, Bay Area education did teach me that if you're trying to snap the ball and you only have one guy in front of you and there's about 6 defenders ahead, it's probably not a good idea to snap.
Oh, so what you're telling me is if you're going to do a fake punt, you shouldn't be in the swinging gate formation?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay, cool. I just want to make sure I had that one down for the next time that I play Madden or not.
Yeah, don't do that. I don't think it would work in Madden either unless you're glitching. That being said, though, still picking the Colts to win. Because what's my argument here? New Orleans Saints defense is not good. They pulled a great win last week at home on Thursday Night Football. That was actually an upset. That's all nice and sweet. I'm still not sold on them. New Orleans defense is it can be opportunistic at times, just not consistently enough for them to actually be able to pull something on the road against a Colts team that I keep expecting to kind of come out of a funk eventually. I think Frank Gore has a big game. So give me the Colts.
Oh, yeah. Well, I agree with you on Gore. Not really sold on Luck. I think that with all the receiving weapons he's got, he's not having a sophomore slump. He's having a junior slump.
Well, I think it's that shoulder thing.
Yeah, I think it is too, and I think that subluxation is going to limit him. So
it's going to be there all season.
I like the defense. I like Indy's defense here. There's some ballers in New Orleans. New Orleans fans, don't hang your heads. I'm sorry I'm picking against you. But, I mean, come on, guys. Come on. You haven't strung together 4 decent quarters of football, even in a blowout last week. That wasn't 4 decent quarters of football. Yeah. That was 3 quarters of the other team, jamming their finger down their throat and puking. And then 1 quarter of good football. Yeah. So, all right, you know what? I'm taking the Colts. I'm taking them to cover 4.5. Okay, next up, Oakland Raiders going to San Diego. San Diego favored by 4.
Well, I don't know if Philip Rivers is going to be able to throw after throwing for 3,000 yards last week against the Packers. I mean, but in all serious stuff, it's a divisional game. It's a rivalry. They don't like each other. Kind of have to go with the home team here, just because again, even though I think Oakland's future is bright, which you couldn't have said for the last 10 years or so. The Chargers are still playing for a lot of stuff, and the defense, it's sort of leaky. They remind me a little bit of the New Orleans defense, but I think that offense is obviously clicking at a high level. Raiders defense probably their weakness. Pass defense is just backboard. Hasn't shown me enough for me to think that they can stop somebody who just threw for 500 yards on a pretty good defense.
Yeah,
Packers defense is pretty good. So I'm going to take the Chargers to cover.
Well, math here for me is simple. The most level-headed and studly guy hanging out on this Raider defense is Justin Tuck, and he just got put on IR.
Mm-hmm.
That right there is the kiss of death. Sorry, Raider fans. Yeah, I know you're all excited about Cooper, and you've got your quarterback.
Rightfully so.
Right, and the guy's a stud. I think Carr's a stud. I think Latavius Murray's a stud. I don't think any of that is going to matter. It's just not going to matter, because when Danny Woodhead, the 5'7" Lilliputian wonder, decides that he's going to pick up 15 yards a clip every time he touches the freaking ball against your defense, because you guys have massive holes underneath that safety shell that you play in front of. There's no way that I can pick the Raiders to win this football game, especially on the road. Give me the Chargers.
Antonio Gates is going to eat too, and I'm picking the over on the 47. Easy.
All right. Okay, so now we've got the Dallas Cowboys going to the New York Giants. Giants are favored by 3.5.
Dallas Cowboys are going to come out of this funk because Matt Castle is now their quarterback. Are you kidding me? Did I even say that right now? Boy, here's what I do know, though. That defense is going to make Eli Manning look worse than he looked last week. I will take the Cowboys in the upset.
Okay, I'm going to agree with you. I'm going to take the Cowboys in the upset, but I'm not taking the Cowboys in the upset because of Castle. No. I'm taking the Cowboys in the upset because of Christine Michael. He's got fresh legs. He's a better running back than anybody on that team, and he's chomping at the bit to get a shot to go behind a pretty darn good offensive line.
Yeah.
I think Odell Beckham's great. I think there's maybe nobody on this team, this Dallas defense, that can bang with him down in, down out. I don't think any of that matters because Eli's going to be on his back for most of the game.
Yeah.
Christine Michael's going to run wild. Remember, fantasy football players, you heard it here first.
Nice.
Give me the Dallas Cowboys in the upset.
Okay,
we have got the Philadelphia Eagles headed to the undefeated Carolina Panthers. Panthers favored only by 3 points against the Chuck and Duck Project.
That's because Vegas still doesn't know what to make of Philadelphia. I did come here last week and say that the Panthers hadn't played anybody yet and couldn't pick them to beat the Seahawks.
How'd that turn out, by the way?
Not so good. I gotta say, not so good. To the point where I'm now, gonna go fully behind the Carolina Panthers, pulling off this win, covering the spread.
Yeah, for me, it's the at Carolina that makes a difference here. They're favored by 3 points against a team that's more bipolar than...
They are in first place in the division, though.
Yeah, no. Okay, the Philadelphia Eagles are the crazy ex-girlfriend of the NFL.
Yeah.
They are. They are absolutely insane. They make absolutely no sense. You can't have nice things because if you do, they effing break them. And then they're nice to you, and they're all huggy and sweet and score like a bazillion points. Then the freaking next week, they can't block. They can't even get past the 50-yard line. I don't know what to make of this team. And against a quality Carolina squad, and I mean quality. This team, they're playing well on both sides of the ball. You got to give me Carolina here. I take Carolina, but I don't think it's 3. I think it's 13. Okay, Monday night. We have got the Baltimore Ravens headed to the Arizona Cardinals. The Cards are favored by 7.5.
And I think I know where you're going to go on this one because I know that you've been sort of waiting for Arizona to just kind of come back to
Earth.
Level. Yeah, go back to Earth. And they just killed themselves last week against Pittsburgh.
Did they kill themselves, or did Carson Palmer just do what Carson Palmer does?
Carson Palmer is part of them, so yes, both apply on that one. They're at home against obviously a not good pass defense. What is Jack? Jack, what do you think? Okay, covered. They're covered.
You think? Okay.
Arizona's definitely winning,
right?
But I think they cover also.
I think Arizona's going to win. I think Arizona's going to cover. Only because there's nobody in Baltimore I can buy.
No.
There's nobody in Baltimore I can buy right now.
Sharice Wright against Larry Fitzgerald. Think about that for a second.
That's not going to happen. Honestly, you could go out and quarterback Arizona to a win against that Baltimore defense.
Let me get my arm boost.
Yeah, you just got to stretch that out. Okay, so for me, give me Arizona. Give me Arizona. I think they win this one by a couple of scores.
All right.
Well, all right. That's our picks for the week.
That'll be all. I'm
all
Diego.
Right. I'm AJ. Thanks a lot for watching. It's been upon further review.
Yes, sir.